Welcome to the Cheating and Love Tales channel. You are a man. Hold on. Her gaze catches me off guard. The way the light falls across her eyes. Soft, brown, searching. It's a look I used to know like my own reflection. But tonight, standing by the living room window, she appears like a stranger in my home. My wife, Anna, is back from a trip. No, not just any trip. The trip. The one that changed everything. She's looking at me with parted lips, tension in her jaw. I wonder if she can see the storm inside me or if I've hidden it well. I used to think I knew every detail of her face. A single crease between her eyebrows told me when she worried. A tilt of her chin signaled playful mischief. But now, her features betray something else. A secret, a distance. There's a flicker of desperation in her eyes, as if she's begging me to unsee what's already burned into my memory. I don't blink. I'm so calm it's terrifying. Because inside, I'm anything but alive. I wasn't always like this. There was a time when Anna's smile meant home. Meant that whatever happened outside our front door didn't matter because we had each other. We were married for nearly 10 years. Together, we built a life in a quiet suburb near Boston. We had a routine, a child. A daughter I believed to be mine, a stable job in software development, a set of daily joys that made me think we were immune to the storms that sometimes tear families apart. I see now how naive that was. I realize I'm gripping the windowsill so hard my knuckles turn white. Anna steps forward. "Rob," she begins, voice trembling. I'm sorry for." She stops. She doesn't know how to talk to the man I've become. The man who found out the truth. The day of confession, March 5th, still rings in my head. That night, something inside me broke. And I remember every detail because the memory is all that's left. It started innocently. I'd been logged into an online game I play to unwind after work. A fantasy world with forests, mountains, and cryptic quests. It's my escape when life gets too gray. That night, on a whim, I commissioned a virtual tombstone, an unusual feature in that game. I typed in Anna's name on the stone. A twisted joke, maybe. A way to handle the roiling suspicion in my gut. I had this insane urge to bury my doubts, my darkest thoughts. Kinda like exorcising a demon by giving it a name. Then the phone buzzed. A friend had sent me a photo. Anna in an airport, wearing that floral scarf I gave her last Christmas. Her body language was all too familiar. Leaning in, laughing, eyes bright with something more than casual conversation. Next to her was Marcus Winston, a man we both knew from an old training program. He taught us how to fall safely, a self-defense class for couples. He was a friend, or so I believed. The photo showed them side by side, huddled close like new lovers. My chest clenched. My mind snapped to an earlier conversation with Anna. She had said she was traveling alone for a work-related seminar. Now the lie was revealed. I forced myself to remain calm. First, I considered the possibility of coincidence. Maybe they just ran into each other. That logic lasted about 15 seconds. There was another photo. The two of them in the queue for baggage claim. His hand on her hip, her face turned up to his. That wasn't a friendly embrace. It was intimate, far too familiar. I closed the app, my vision swimming. I remember going upstairs. Our daughter was asleep in her bed, my daughter, or so I'd always believed. I brushed her hair aside and kissed her forehead, my heart torn between fatherly warmth and a new, creeping doubt, because it wasn't just the affair that gnawed at me. There had been rumors. A question I never asked out loud. Too afraid of the answer. So I made a decision that same night. I ordered a DNA test kit online. Overnight shipping. No big deal these days. 2 weeks later, it arrived. I felt sick opening it, my hands shaking. I followed the instructions carefully. Another week passed, and then the results landed in my inbox. Probability of paternity. 0%. For a moment, I forgot how to breathe. I stared at the email until the words blurred. All sense of normalcy dissolved. I wanted to scream, break something, maybe call Anna and rage until my throat went raw. But I did none of those things. Instead, I set my phone down, walked into the bathroom, and methodically gathered her items: a pink toothbrush, a bottle of perfume, a single earring that had fallen behind the sink. I placed them in a small cardboard box. I wiped the sink clean. Then I deleted her last voicemail from my phone. I was removing all traces, as if preparing for a funeral. Now, looking at her in the glow of our living room lamp, I recall that moment. The final erasure of her voice was so easy, a button press. I guess this is how a man feels when he's already died inside. There's a hush in the air between us. She opens her mouth again, and I hold up a hand. "Don't," I say. My voice is flat, precisely controlled, like a prosecutor delivering a key piece of evidence. "Anna, look at me." She hesitates, eyes watery. "Yes. Where were you?" I demand. Direct, clipped words, like in court. I don't need the answer. I already know. But I want to hear her say it. She lowers her gaze. I was in Chicago with Marcus." Her voice almost breaks. "Work ended early, and he asked me to stay a couple of days. I'm so sorry, Rob." My jaw tenses. "And the girl? Our daughter?" She flinches. "She's yours. In every way that matters." I raise an eyebrow, pull out my phone, and place it on the table. The DNA test results are open, glaring in the dim lamplight. Silence. She sets her hand over her mouth, stifling a sob. "I didn't know," she pleads. "I swear I didn't know until she was born. He was just a friend at first, but it got complicated. It was a mistake. We never meant." I hold up a finger to stop her rambling. My calm is more menacing than any shout. She glances away, tears sliding down her cheeks. And for the briefest moment, I feel a stab of pity. I love her, even after all this. That's the twisted part. But love doesn't negate betrayal. I speak slowly. "Was it just once?" Silence. She shakes her head. "No." Then she straightens, mustering some courage. "We were together for a while before I got pregnant. I ended it. I swear I ended it. I thought." My chest feels hollow. I nod. Her confession is everything I dreaded. The image of our family, a lie built on 1,000 tiny falsehoods. And still, I don't erupt. The adrenaline that might have fueled an outburst is gone. I am already carved out. I glance at the hallway leading to the bedrooms. The door to my daughter's room is shut tight. She's asleep, oblivious to the meltdown in the next room. My throat constricts. I want to protect her from all this. She's innocent. She's not to blame. But whenever I look at her now, I feel a pang of confusion. Is that how betrayal tastes? Tainted love. Anna steps closer. "Rob, talk to me." "About what?" I snap, voice still disturbingly calm. "You lied. You cheated. You let me raise a child thinking she was mine. You." My mouth twists. I stop before I break down. A pause. She reaches out, trembling. When her fingertips graze my arm, I jerk away. "Don't," I say again. Then more quietly, "Go upstairs, Anna. Go to bed." She exhales, her breath shaky. "And you?" "I'll sleep on the couch." She stands there for a moment, the smell of her perfume drifting. Soft, floral, reminding me of 1,000 kisses we once shared. Then she turns and heads for the stairs. I watch her go, feeling more dead than alive. The next day, I go to work like a man in a trance. My colleagues greet me. I nod back with minimal words. My mind replays the entire fiasco. So many subtle signs I overlooked. Nights she claimed to be working late. That vacant look in her eyes sometimes. The times she avoided intimacy with vague excuses. I was either too trusting or too blind, perhaps both. Back home in the evening, I find her in the kitchen, making dinner. The domestic routine strikes me as absurd. This is the woman who stood in another man's arms, shared his bed, gave birth to his daughter while I believed in a dream. Yet here she is, stirring pasta sauce, glancing at me with haunted eyes. Our child is at the table coloring. The scene is heartbreakingly normal, except for the tension so thick, it's almost suffocating. Anna speaks softly. Dinner's almost ready. I step closer, watch the pot simmer. All right. She tries again, voice trembling. We need to talk about this. She flicks a look toward our daughter, as if to say, not here. She wants to keep it together for the little one. I nod stiffly. Later, during dinner, I go through the motions, asking our daughter how her day at school was, responding to her innocent excitement about a new art project. She beams up at me like I'm her world. I force a smile that tastes like poison. Guilt gnaws at me. She didn't ask for this mess. She loves me as her father, and maybe that love is real. But how can I reconcile everything? After the meal, Anna puts our daughter to bed. I wait in the living room, arms folded, scanning the pictures on the mantel. Family photos. A younger, happier version of me stands with Anna on our wedding day, grinning like an idiot in love. Next to that is a framed shot of us at Disneyland, with our daughter on my shoulders. Genuine smiles all around. I remember that day. The smell of cotton candy, the squeals of laughter. Was it all a lie, or was it real, just overshadowed by deception? Anna returns, looking pale. She stands at the threshold, uncertain. Then she sits across from me on the couch. Her posture is stiff. Her hands twist together in her lap. Rob, she begins. She looks up, meeting my gaze, and her eyes shimmer with tears. I can't change what I did. If I could take it back. But you can't. My voice is measured, each word like a bullet. Tell me everything. No lies. She inhaled shakily. We met Marcus at that self-defense class, remember? You liked him too. We all got along. But you got busy with work, so I kept going. He was kind. We started talking more, grabbed coffee, confided in each other. I was stupid, lonely maybe, but that's no excuse. One thing led to another, and it turned into an affair. Then I got pregnant. He panicked. I panicked. We broke it off. You never suspected anything. Our daughter was born, and she looks enough like me that you believed she was yours. And I wanted her to be yours, Rob, with all my heart. I feel the old sting again. I grit my teeth. So you lied to me every day. And I hated myself for it. I pause, staring at her, at the face I once adored. My chest constricts. Why Chicago? She closes her eyes. He reached out. He was going to a seminar for fitness trainers. I wanted closure. Closure? My voice echoes. So you traveled with him. We're intimate again. Behind my back. Again. For closure. She flinches. It wasn't about sex. It just happened. A tear slips down her cheek. God, Rob, you have to believe me. I wanted to say goodbye and ended up repeating the same mistake. I'm not proud. My head throbs, but there's a cold clarity in my mind. You told me enough. Standing up, I say, I'll be in the guest room. Sleep in our bedroom if you want. But I'm done talking for tonight. She nods, tears in her eyes. Thank you for not yelling. I stare at her a long moment. Don't interpret my silence as mercy, Anna. I just got nothing left to say. She bursts into quiet sobs, and I walk away. My heart feels hammered flat. I keep expecting some surge of rage to break me, but it never comes. Anger, shame, resentment. They flicker, yes, but the deeper sense is emptiness. A couple of days later, Marcus himself contacts me. A text. I want to talk. This isn't all Anna's fault. I read it, expressionless, then delete it without replying. He tries again the next day, leaving a voicemail I let ring out. His voice is smooth, contrite. Rob, man, I know you must hate me. I can't undo what happened, but we need to meet. For the child's sake. My lip curls. The nerve of him, bringing up my daughter, our daughter. I do the only thing that feels right. I delete the message. Eventually, he manages to corner me one evening outside my workplace. I walk to my car, see him leaning against a black SUV. He stands tall, athletic build, wearing a fitted jacket and a subdued expression. The same man who taught me how to fall without breaking bones. The irony isn't lost on me. He taught me how to roll with a punch, physically, but he's the one who delivered the blow that shattered my life. He raises a hand, a silent greeting. I stop several paces away. My stance is rigid, like I'm in a courtroom. Rob, he says, hear me out. I fold my arms. Speak quickly. He rubs the back of his neck. I'm sorry. This is my fault. I never should have touched her. I was lonely, traveling all the time. Anna. She said she felt disconnected. We weren't thinking straight. I watch him silently, letting the words wash over me like poison. He steps forward, voice low. About your daughter. Not a word. I cut in. You have no right to speak of her. She's my daughter in every way that matters to me. Except biology, apparently. His expression flickers with guilt. Let's figure something out. Medical expenses, or if you want me out of your lives entirely, I'll do it. I'll sign anything. I had no idea until Anna told me later. She never asked me for anything. I swear to you. My breathing is calm, almost too calm. Is that supposed to help? He shakes his head. No, nothing helps. But I want to do right by all of you. I stare at him for a long moment. Then I speak in clipped, precise tones, like reading a verdict. You've done enough damage. I don't need your money, your guilt, or your help. Do not contact me or my family again. He opens his mouth to respond, but I turn on my heel and walk away. My footsteps echo in the parking lot. I get into my car, slam the door, and drive off without looking back. When I get home, I find Anna waiting, anxiety etched into her face. I brush past her, heading straight to the bedroom that used to be ours. I pull open drawers, rummaging for my clothes, stuffing them into a suitcase. She follows me, heart pounding so loud I can practically hear it. Rob, please, don't go. We can work this out, she pleads. I grip a shirt, hearing the fabric tear slightly under my clenched fists. Work out what, Anna? The fact that you've lied to me for years. That I'm not my daughter's biological father. She's crying now. She loves you. You love her. Don't punish the child. We can fix this. Marriage counseling, therapy, anything. I pause, closing my eyes. Memories flood in. The day Anna told me she was pregnant, the flood of joy I felt, the nursery we decorated in pastel greens, holding that tiny baby in my arms for the first time. The bond that felt so real, so perfect. And it is real, except for the bloodline. I choke back a wave of emotion. Anna. I say, measured but trembling with suppressed rage. I love that little girl, and I always will. But you've severed something in me, and I don't think it can be undone. Don't say that, she sobs, stepping closer. I zip the suitcase. I need space. I don't know what the future holds, but right now, I can't look at you without seeing him. She stumbles, tears cascading, and I feel an urge to hold her, comfort her. Then I remember the photo of them in the airport, the knowledge they slept together more than once, the DNA test results. My arms remain rigid at my sides. I swing the suitcase off the bed, stepping past her. She catches my sleeve. Stay. Please. For a moment, we're so close I can smell her familiar shampoo, see the raw pain in her eyes. I mutter, I'm leaving, then wrench free and walk away. Downstairs, I find my daughter huddled on the couch, wide-eyed. She must have heard us shouting. Her little face is pale with confusion. Guilt slams me in the gut, but I can't do this right now. I can't comfort her while my head's on the verge of exploding. I kneel beside her. "Listen," I say softly, forcing a smile that shakes at the edges. "Daddy needs a little trip. I'll call you every day, okay?" She nods, tears brimming. "But why, Daddy?" My heart cracks. I want to tell her a lie, something about business, but I can't lie anymore. So I just stroke her hair, pressing a kiss to her forehead. "I'll be back soon," I whisper. Then I stand, let the trembling in my knees guide me out the door. I drive aimlessly for hours, ending up at a cheap motel on the outskirts of town. The neon sign flickers, mocking me with its half-burnt letters. Inside, the room smells of stale cigarettes. I set my suitcase down, collapse onto the bed, and stare at the ceiling fan spinning overhead. All my life, I valued honesty, trust, loyalty. Now I feel like a hollow husk of the man I was. Exhausted, I shut my eyes and slip into a restless sleep. Days pass. The emptiness inside me festers. Anna tries calling. I let it ring. She leaves voicemails that range from tearful pleas to quiet apologies. I don't respond. My phone pings with texts from concerned friends. I ignore them. I exist in a vacuum, going to work, returning to the motel, drinking cheap whiskey at night while the TV drones on in the background. All the while, thoughts of that virtual tombstone I made for her name swirl in my head. How bizarre that it started as a dark joke. Now it feels like a prophecy. One night, I decide to log into the game again. The pixelated world welcomes me with a cheery tune, a stark contrast to my gloom. I navigate to that hidden forest clearing with cedar trees, where dawn breaks in digital rays. And there, amidst the tall grass, is the tombstone with Anna's name etched by my own hand. I linger, reading the line I inscribed. A memory best laid to rest. A wave of finality washes over me. I imagine burying the entire chapter of our marriage here in this fantasy realm. Back in reality, a new resolution forms. I'd retreated, but maybe there's a more decisive action to take. Something that finalizes my stance, my revenge, if you can call it that. Because no, I'm not going to chase them with a baseball bat, or burn all her clothes on the lawn. My revenge is silence, withdrawal, letting her realize exactly what she's lost. She once whispered, "I love you" at night, her breath warm against my neck. Now that same mouth has formed the words that set me free. She betrayed me. I owe her nothing. That Friday, I walk into our old house unannounced, keys still in my pocket. Anna is in the kitchen, startled to see me. She's dressed in sweatpants and a t-shirt, hair pinned back. No makeup. She looks exhausted, eyes rimmed red. "Rob," she breathes, stepping forward. I hold up a hand, face expressionless. "Don't. I'm here to pick up a few more things." She bites her lip, swallowing hard. "The motel. You can't keep living like that." "I'll do whatever I want," I say, voice clinical. She flinches. "We have to talk about the child's future." A flicker of anguish crosses my eyes. But I bury it. Her future is with me in it. Somehow. But not as your husband. She takes a step closer, tears threatening. "Stop punishing me, Rob. I know I ruined everything. But please, look at me. Do you really want to throw away all the good years we had?" My chest tightens. For a split second, old memories flare. Our wedding dance, nights spent curled together under warm blankets, her laughter filling the house. Then the wave of betrayal hits. I swallow, my throat dry. "Yes," I say softly, almost inaudible. "They're gone." She breaks down, covering her face with trembling hands. I walk upstairs, enter the bedroom. The bed we once shared looms like a coffin. I gather more clothes, my laptop, personal items. On the way out, I pass the vanity with her jewelry scattered across it. My eyes land on the wedding ring she sometimes took off to apply lotion. Now it rests there, a symbol of everything we've destroyed. I scoop it up, feeling its cool metal weight, then lay it gently on the dresser. She can decide what to do with it. Downstairs again, I see my daughter's artwork pinned to the fridge. Crayon drawings of us as a family, all smiling. My stomach knots. I can't do this. Not while she's in the next room playing with dolls. I slip out quietly, avoiding another confrontation with Anna. Outside, the sky is bruised purple as dusk sets in. I text Anna a short message later. I'll call our daughter at bedtime. This is between you and me. Don't drag her into it. She doesn't reply. Eventually, I hire a lawyer. The process of disentangling a decade of marriage is complicated. But I know one thing. I'm not abandoning my daughter. I might not share her DNA, but I raised her, taught her to ride a bike, read her bedtime stories. No piece of paper can erase that bond. My attorney warns me it could get messy if Marcus wants paternal rights. The thought makes me want to punch a wall. Instead, I clench my fists in my lap and say, we'll fight that if it comes up. Weeks crawl by. Anna calls me every day, trying to bargain, to salvage what's left. My mother calls from Seattle, alarmed by the news. She begs me to come home for a while. But I can't handle her sympathy. The meltdown is mine alone to endure. I do, however, meet Anna a few times for dinner, neutral territory, so we can discuss finances, custody, all the logistical debris of a broken marriage. We sit in quiet corners of restaurants, ordering salads we barely touch. She looks fragile, guilt etched in every line of her face. I keep my voice flat, my words efficient. She tries to make small talk. How's work? I grunt a half answer. She tries again. Have you seen Marcus? My jaw tightens. I say no. I ask her not to mention him again. She nods, tears glistening. We sign some preliminary paperwork, our pen strokes final and dark on the page. One night, she confesses between halting breaths, I still love you, Rob. I'll do anything to prove that. I'm sorry if that sounds ridiculous after what I've done. I meet her gaze, my own eyes hollow. It doesn't matter. I can't hear your voice without hearing the lie in it. That's on you. She shudders. You're so calm. I exhale, finishing my water. I'm dead inside, Anna. This is the echo of what you killed. Tears drip onto her napkin. I stand, pay the bill, and leave. The custody arrangement for our daughter takes shape. Anna remains in the house. I pay a portion of the mortgage. We alternate weeks, or something close to that. I ensure my daughter is never caught in a crossfire. I try to mask my bitterness when I'm around her, focusing on her well-being. Each time, she greets me with a wide grin and leaps into my arms. My heart constricts painfully. She's not mine by blood, but you'd never guess it from how she clings to me. I return her hugs, letting her warmth seep into my aching chest. Meanwhile, Marcus attempts to contact Anna as well. Whether she responds, I don't know. I've cut him out completely. My life is a shell now, but at least it's my shell. My nightmares revolve around that moment I read the DNA results. That white page with black text. 0%. Final. Irreversible. Time trudges forward. By the second month, I've settled into a small apartment. Boxes line the walls. Each day, I do what needs to be done. Work, errands, fatherly duties on my custody days. My body is on autopilot, but mentally, I'm nowhere. One evening, I power up that online game again. I don't know why. Perhaps to revisit the tombstone. This time, I see the digital sunrise over the cedar trees, casting gold ribbons across the screen. The tombstone still stands, a testament to everything that's died in me. On impulse, I move my character forward and chip away the text, rewriting it. Love doesn't die, only illusions do. I hit save. The game flickers. For the first time in months, I let out a breath that almost feels like relief. Maybe I do still love her, in some twisted way. You can't just erase a decade of devotion with a keystroke. But illusions, those can shatter forever. A few weeks later, Anna contacts me, her voice subdued. We need to finalize everything. Can you come over tomorrow evening? I stiffen. Yes, I'll be there. When I arrive at the house, dusk is settling in. I step inside to find the living room lights dimmed. Anna stands by the sofa, wringing her hands. My daughter is at a friend's for a sleepover. This is just between the two of us. No distractions. On the coffee table, there's a neat stack of papers. I glance at them. The divorce agreement, details about property division, custody, the final legalities. My stomach twists. Anna looks at me with trembling eyes. I sit across from her, pick up a pen. All right, let's do this. Her voice cracks. Rob, wait. Before you sign, please, hear me out. She kneels in front of me. I know what I did can never be undone. I know we're not the same as we were. But every night I lie awake thinking how much I hurt you. I can't stand seeing you so empty. You're a good man. You deserve better than me. Maybe that's the truth. But if there's a single part of you that wants to try again, I'm begging you. Don't sign. Let's get help, therapy, anything. I want to be a family again. Our daughter loves you. I love you. Her words hang in the air. She's shaking. Tears smear her cheeks, and her eyes reflect the woman I once adored. A woman I still, unbelievably, have feelings for. Love doesn't die, I wrote in the game. But illusions do. Maybe that's what we are now. An illusion. I set the pen down, looking at her for a long moment. My heart is pounding. Anna, I say measured, as if on trial. Answer me one question. She sniffles. Anything. If we stay together, will I ever trust you again? She closes her eyes, tears slipping down. I don't know. I nod, picking up the pen again. Exactly. She collapses onto the couch, sobbing as I sign the final line. My signature is heavy and precise. This is my revenge. The end of everything we built, delivered in cold finality. I flick my gaze up to see her trembling, hugging herself. I stand, gather the papers, and say, I'll file these tomorrow. If you want a chance to talk about custody changes, let me know. Otherwise, we're done. She looks up at me, heartbreak etched into every corner of her face. Rob. I walk to the door. My chest feels tight, my breathing ragged. But my voice remains calm, unyielding. I glance back, forcing myself to meet her gaze one last time. I have nothing else to say, I tell her. It comes out like a death sentence. She opens her mouth, but no words come. I step outside, close the door gently behind me. The night air greets me, cold against my skin. I stand there for a moment, letting the numbness wash over my heart. In that silence, I can almost hear my own pulse. Days later, the paperwork is officially filed. The dissolution of our marriage is just a matter of court procedure. In the meantime, we fall into a routine of handing off our daughter, coordinating schedules. Anna tries to smile politely when I arrive. I respond with curt nods. Our daughter senses the tension. But children adapt. She beams when she sees me, runs into my arms. That love is the only thing that feels halfway real anymore. Marcus never appears again, though I suspect he still tries to contact Anna. Maybe she learned her lesson, or maybe she's with him in secret. At this point, it doesn't matter. The bruise is there, numb and deep. I'm past caring about details. I come by the house one last time for something. Maybe it's a jacket I left behind, or a piece of mail. My daughter is out with friends. Anna stands alone at the kitchen sink, staring out the window. She hears me enter, turns around slowly. Our eyes lock. That gaze again. The one that used to hold my reflection. Now it holds regret, longing, sorrow. 1,000 apologies unspoken. She opens her mouth. I raise my hand, cutting her off. Don't. She clamps her lips shut, nods slowly. I walk past her to the living room. There's a single box I need to collect, some of my older work files. I lift it into my arms. Suddenly, She comes up behind me, brushing a kiss to my shoulder. Tentative, gentle. Like a ghost's touch, my spine stiffens. Anna, I say, voice low, dangerously calm. Move away. She does. She's crying softly. I'm sorry, she whispers. I set the box down, turning to face her. For a moment, we stand inches apart. Then, in a gesture that feels like removing a memory, I lift my hand and carefully wipe a tear from her cheek, like I'm erasing the last piece of her from me. Don't do that again, I say quietly, my eyes dead. She chokes on a sob. I can't undo this, can I? I watch her, feeling an ache so deep it burns cold. You and I, we're finished. I'll always be my daughter's father. But you stay in your world. I'll stay in mine. Her tears fall onto her shirt, forming dark patches. She wraps her arms around herself. I'm sorry, she repeats, as if that could change a thing. I bend to pick up the box. My voice is a whisper. I know. She steps closer, longing in her eyes, but I'm already walking away. At the doorway, I glance back. She opens her mouth, then closes it, lacking the courage or the words. Her reflection stands shattered in my mind. I walk out. Outside, night is settling in. A hush envelops the neighborhood, broken only by a distant car engine. I load the box into my trunk, get in, and drive off. Each turn of the wheel, each flick of the street lamp overhead, is another mile away from the life I knew. A life now in fragments. At my new apartment, I place the box in the corner and stand there, shoulders sagging. Then I do something unexpected. I let out a breath that sounds like a weary laugh. Not joy, not humor, just the final surrender of a man who survived the worst punch life can throw. I recall my father's old words. You are a man. Hold on. Spoken when I was a kid. That phrase echoes now. I guess I did hold on. Perhaps I'm still holding on. I flick off the living room light. Darkness claims the space. My heart thuds quietly in my chest. I'm not sure what tomorrow brings. Maybe more pain, maybe a chance to rebuild. But tonight, all I know is that I'm done speaking, done screaming, done begging. My revenge was never violence or cruelty. It was the absolute silence that robs her of my voice. She can't lie to me if I won't listen. She can't twist the knife if I've already died inside. I sink onto the couch, letting the darkness wrap around me. Somewhere in the distance, a neighbor's TV murmurs, and headlights flash through the blinds. My phone rests on the table, an empty slate for new beginnings or more pointless messages. I stare into the blackness, my mind quiet, my heart battered. And then, after the last shuddering breath, after the final words fade in my throat, the light goes out. End.